Hello, and welcome to my video discussing variable speed playback in Macs. I encountered this concept of playback while I was living in Glasgow, Scotland. This was introduced to me by Nick Fels. He's a wonderful composer, sound artist, and professor at University of Glasgow. So we're going to play with this vari speed using a few different types of samples. As you can see, I've got a few ready, and demonstrate what this style of playback sounds like. I've used it in a few different ways in my old patches. Mostly I feed live sound in, or sound which has already been ran through multiple types of processing. So in this video, I'm just going to use some samples which I thought work pretty good. So first, let's just play around with it, and then we'll chat a bit about what's happening. Let's see. So you're going to see over here to the right, that's just the level for the sample, unaffected. Let's play that. And I made this sample from a combination of smaller sounds. Remember, this is just a demonstration, and you can feed whatever you want into this player. When I go over here to the capture toggle, that's going to refill the buffer down there in purple. You can see it kind of filling up. Let's just hear that sound on its own. And in this particular patch, I have a toggle where you can go from an automated control or manual control, which in this case I have a controller. Just kind of allows you to do something a little different. Now down there is the function editor. It says below, this makes it funky. To the automation. I have like a little counterpoint going there. Let's try another. So recapturing, refilling the buffer. Sometimes I just sit around and do this all day. So you can see there's potential actually for making multiple layers. You could have numerous vari-speed players, and this could get really dense. Well, it depends on which samples you use, obviously. But I kind of like this result where you just have this little counterpoint between the original unaffected sample and then the affected sample. Of course, you can pit one sound against a completely different sound if you wanted. Like I said, the potential here is to get really creative and experiment with numerous layers. I'm just going to lower the volume slightly here. Now let's talk about what's going on inside. So if we open up the sub patch, we can see that when the toggle is pressed, it's going to start a Metro object and starts recording into a buffer. And then you can see that line object is creating a ramp, and the Metro allows that to be continuous. Depending on what number's coming in from that second inlet, it's going to determine the length of the Metro and the overall length of the ramp. That's where the $1 message comes in. So that information is then going to go over to the function editor over here. How that works is when the X point is hit, because each point has an X and Y value, so when the number hits the X, the Y value goes out. So the Y in this case would be 1.111. Then that Y value is going to be sent back and that Y value is going to affect the playback of the sample which is captured in the groove object. What's nice during performance is that you can see the waveform. There, it's in the groove object. Now, we take the signal value coming out of the groove, and then that's multiplied by the buffer size, which is 10,000. And then the line $1 message causes the playhead to move through the sample. And so that's demonstrating the movement of the playhead in real time. So just to show you, let's make one point on the editor, and you can see X over there is 81.395, and the Y is 1.111. And that value, well, let's actually make another point. You're basically creating a ramp, which is being sent over to the groove object for playback. It's affecting playback. And that's why it's funky, people. Sometimes that does something cool as well. Right, so you can see. There you go. 1.389, the Y is being used. another point, 0.278 or something. So you got that ramp between those two numbers. So you got this really funky effect, allowing the playhead to kind of scrub through, if you will, the waveform. So there you go. That's what it's all about. This is just an approach to a funky playhead. I like to have fun with this. So thanks for watching, and please feel free to contact me with any questions that you might have. And until the next one, have a good one.